show brought me the dough that bought me all my fancy things. My crib, my cars, my pools, my jewels. Look on me, I done came up and I ain't changed. My flow, my show brought me the dough that bought me all my fancy things. My crib, my cars, my pools, my jewels. Look on me, I done came up and I ain't changed. Go shorty, it's everything. We gon' party like it's everything. We gon' sip a party like it's everything. And you know we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday. Go shorty, it's everything. We gon' party like it's everything. We gon' sip a party like it's everything. And you know we don't give a fuck, it's not your birthday. So come give me a hug if you in the gear up. You can find me in the club. Bottle full of bum, my mind got what you need. If you need it for the buzz, I'm in the have sex, I ain't in to make it love. So come give me a hug if you in the gear up. You can find me in a
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to the Praga Cup UK Championship in association with MOZA Racing and SpeedScents. My name is John Wright, and along with Mr. Kane Denham, who's listening to the stream in that Discord, we will be taking you through all the action this evening from Donington Park National. A new circuit, of course, for the ACC drivers, but not so much for the seasoned race room veterans that we see before us. As it is round number 3, we're going to have races 4 and 5, but you can hear the excitement in my voice. We all know why it is. It's because the world's greatest has returned. It's Mr. Kane Denham up at 4:30 in the morning to bring us quite possibly some of the most high-speed action you're likely to see on Twitch this evening in the Pragas. How we doing, Kane? Yes, indeed it is. And I didn't put any space bars now. Yes, and I tell you, the action we know is going to come thick and fast, because out of the 4 races in the 2 rounds that we've had so far, we've had split winners. Luciano Whitvet and Luke Southall taking 2 race wins apiece. The only separation there, a 5-point deduction for Luke for a penalty, sees them 5 points apart and 35 points ahead of Victor Strateman, who's only 9 ahead of Schubeck, and who again is only 10 ahead of Lopez, Kane, and we've got Kievi there in 6th, only 11 points back. So the top 2 doing what they need to do, but the chasing pack are certainly keeping it interesting amongst themselves. Yes, it is. Yeah, we've seen the drivers so far. A couple of cars over the opening 4 races have been disqualified from the race for reaching and breaching the penalty point system within the game. These cars really are a monster handful, and round a circuit like Donington as well, it's going to be a fun one. This, of course, the national circuit. I can't hear Kane. Yeah, he says that I'm cracking.
You missed that Melbourne hairpin.
Yes, on you go, Kane. Yes.
Yes, we do miss that Melbourne hairpin, but there'll be plenty of action to keep up with. We've got Craner curves, we've got the old hairpin, and not to mention Coppice and the S's coming into the final sector there.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, and Roberts. It's not that much shorter as well. It's only half a mile that the drivers are losing out on track-wise. But yeah, it's still going to be incredibly difficult. Looking at the board, we've got Simon in the chat. Good evening, Simon. After a 60-plus hour working week, he's got his feet up enjoying the racing this evening. and no doubt enjoying Kane in the box as well. Go and give us another hello, please, Kane.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, there he is. He is coming through. In fact,
Have you
clearer than I
muted
am.
your Discord from the stream?
No, we should be. Everything's definitely coming through. I just
Beautiful.
don't understand why I'm crackling for you.
That's all good. We're
Yeah.
back to.
But yeah, back in the
We're all
quali.
good now. We're all good. 3.5 minutes left of qualifying here.
And just that it's a delay
That
from
could just be the
Australia.
delay from the missing coffee.
Yeah. Oh, yes, indeed. And rightfully so at this time in the morning. I'll tell you who's not Mr. Coffee today. That would be Luciano Whitford and Luke Southall Kane. 300s separating these two at the top, half a second ahead of the rest of the field, who are separated by a tenth themselves. Whitford and Southall maybe need to find out what they are drinking, because if it's not coffee, I definitely want in on the action. Just head and shoulders above the rest of the field and completely inseparable while they're up there, as we see Whitford having a bit of a spin chasing a time.
Yeah, that's right, John. As you said before, only thing separating these two is one incident point, which does translate to the 5 championship points. But there's still 4 rounds to go, including this evening's. We're sure to see these two go at it for the rest of the round. But as I said, let's not forget about Straightman's there. We've got James Rawlins in 4th place at the moment. Philip Creevy, the big name there from Race Room, in 5th. And as we've said, these things are unpredictable at best. And we get them racing side by side, especially down here through the Craner curves. It's going to be a joy to watch. And I mean watch and not participate. Yes. I was just going to say, John, some fantastic prizes there up for grabs. Absolutely. Yeah, and everybody will be vying for one of those, for sure.
And now my audio. Right, okay, hey Johnny, how you doing? I've just done that whole thing. And Kane was the only one that got to hear it, so we'll redo the sponsor stuff after. Apologies, I was shouting out to the sponsors there, but I was checking my audio and mine seems to have switched off. Welcome back, Kane.
Welcome, John. It's good to see nothing's changed here.
It really has, it really has. Johnny having a good old giggle in the chat. Good to see, good to see. But yeah, no, yeah, before we go any further, quick shout out, SpeedScents and MOZA Racing have supplied some incredible prizes. A VIP day out at Donington for the highest placed British driver. And MOZA have an R5 direct drive bundle, which is a wheel, base and pedals. There's also a £50 completion bonus, or a raffle at least, sorry. Everyone that completes every round will be entered into the raffle to win themselves £50. The driver's just about to take a very short formation lap. We've only got 15 on the track for this one. Let's bring up that, and that's, so there we go. And Kane, with it being 15 drivers, it's a straight reverse order grid for race number 2. How we feeling ahead of that?
Yes, absolutely. It's the perfect number here. Perfect number here for that reverse.
It is indeed.
Reverse grids. They're fun. They are sure fun. And again, add this Praga into the mix, and we could see anything happen here.
Indeed we can, and it's going to happen very soon. There is Whitford on the front row, Southall in second, Straightmans and Rollins in fourth. Hopefully, where's Helicam? Let's get up into Helicam. So here we go then. Into turn number 1. It is Redgate. We're going to see some green lights. 15 minutes of action. It should be an 18 minutes race, but it's 15 minutes. Whitvick goes straight defensive and right on the outside. Rollins looking for a move straight up to third place. He's got one done on Straightmans. Lopez and Kowaleski swapping positions. Rollins and Schubeck now. Schubeck falling down the order. Let's see what's happened there. Yep, so he's lost huge momentum off the start finish line. He's now going side by side into the old hairpin, one of the really fast corners. Oh, and there's going to be contact on the outside, and that is Rollins is going to drop 3-4 positions in. As they head up the hill, there's a nose-to-tail situation going past him, as well as Schubeck, Kowaleski and Wallering, in fact. Wallering only just got himself the track at 5 minutes to 7 this evening, so plenty of practice time there, and it clearly paying off for him as Lucas Wallering flying through the field. Oh, and there's been a bit of contact there, and that's Kowaleski is going to tumble down the order, but up at the front, I've missed it. Luke Southall has taken the lead of the race. Thrown in at the deep end, Kane. Welcome back to SOP. We'd like to save it all to the last 10 minutes based on the opening lap. The last 10 should be fun.
It sure should. We've got a big collection of cars there that have come together at the final corner. John, Depril, Kovacs.
Yeah, Buchan out as well by the look of it.
All struggling back. And Simon back in the pits. I did see him start off quite slow there. Didn't get off the line. Had no drive in that car. So we do have Simon Baggers in the pits, unfortunately.
Yeah, up at the front though, it's still Southall and Whitford that are leading the way, and it's Whitford that is doing the chasing then. He took that pole position with the two of them not separated by much at all, and in fact Lopez there looking to make a move on Juzma. Juzma putting in some good defensive work in the middle phase, middle sectors of the lap. Oh, just hear those tyres almost giving up grip there as they made their way through. Roberts, of course, they saved the fog at the S's, but that corner of Robert, that curb on the exit, definitely not as kind as it is making your way through the hairpins. Oh, it's a big wiggle there by Southall on the exit. Not surprising, these cars are absolutely as lively as it gets when they want to be, and they seem to want to be constantly. Marcus Juzma then has lost out to Lopez, although he's coming right back at him. Lopez though snakes the car in front, keeps it under control through the hairpin. and he has held on to that position comfortably then, absolutely flying past Bagas. As Kane mentioned, in the pits, Kovacs down at the back of the field chasing Depril, Baukenhout 14th, Jacobs in 13th, Kowaleski in 12th place, Malam in 11th. In the top 10 though, it's Van Roon chasing down Juzma, who's been left behind by Lopez. He showed a great turn of pace, so perhaps didn't get the quality lap. He was looking for Wallering after a good start. He's up 2 places to 7th. We've got James Rollins, who is down 2 positions at the expense of Schubeck and Creevy, 5th and 4th. Straightmans in 3rd place, but Kane up at the front. Let's just talk about the Whitvet and Southall show. Incredible driving in these cars. As you can see, the two of them absolutely hammer and torn at one another. Oh no, that's a back marker in the way, is it? Okay, so they've made their way past.
Got
no.
3 there. Victor Straightman's in there too. The top 3.
Oh wow, yes. So yeah, Kane up at the front, the top 3. Sorry, I thought Straightmans was somebody coming out of the pits.
Race,
yeah,
the side second races.
Sorry, on you go, mate. There's a bit of a delay in the audio at the minute. On you go, bud.
Hanging right onto the back of those top 2. A little bit of audio issues here, guys. John and I are trying to talk over each other. Nothing new. James Rollins with a slowdown penalty there. Track limits are going to be a big problem, as always. But yeah, no, top 3. Less than a second separating those 3, and Creevy just waiting in behind to see what happens there. All the rest of this race, as Creevy just gets another slowdown there. Very difficult here. 5 minutes in, couple of slowdown warnings already, and going to be quite fun when these guys are going to come through the pack in the second race.
Yeah, it really is. Just looking at Van Roon there, he's dropped down the order. Emmanuel Lopez, he is absolutely flying. He's already caught into the back of Wallering, who was no slouch off the start either. He's gained 2 positions himself. Lopez making his way back up to 8th. Creevy picking up a penalty. That's going to lose him a position to Schubeck then, or at least it's going to be a battle into turn number 1 between the two of them, and a battle between the top 2. The jump on board with Whitfit still chasing them down. You can see over his rear wing, there is Victor Straightman. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to stick with the battle between these 3, because this is incredible stuff in these cars. Through the whole hairpin and up towards Starcase Bridge. Oh, bit of a lift there from Straightman just to keep the car under control. You can see first place completely. Oh, he's gone off track. That's all 4 wheels on the gravel, and it's going to be the lead for Whitbit. And Straightman's there. He's had the lift. He's just thrown him. Oh, he could have taken the lead of the race there, but there was no room for him to pass Southall. Losing traction there, Kane, on the way up to Starcase Bridge, and on the McLean's exit, it's Whitfit in the lead. And I tell you, Straightman's, he is definitely licking his lips together. He knows he could easily get a double overtake if he just hangs in behind these 2.
Yeah, he's showed a lot of patience there. A little bit of a lift as the 2 in front battle for that first position. Straightman is side by side again here. Straightman's, as you said, just sitting back, watching it unfold and seeing what's going to happen. As you said, could take easily both guys here as they continue side by side into the old hairpin, up the hill here. Little bump there. They're definitely doing well to keep these things on track with that contact.
Yeah, and I tell you, Straightman's, what a view he's got of this at the minute. Oh, and it's the Whitbit's turn to go out, but he only puts 2 wheels out on the gravel this time, so McLean's, it's still his lead of the race. Straightman's enjoying all of the slipstream as these 2 battle, although I'm curious, I'm going to stay on board with them through the final corner. Look, again, they've moved over, he's avoiding the slipstream, he's just sticking to his own line. He's done it on the start finish straight. Oh, and it's done him well there on the last corner. He's got a side by side with Southall. Southall potentially down at the 3rd place then, and Schubeck now coming in. He's getting all the slipstream from Straightman's as Whitfit is now showing him. Oh, and what a cutback! Absolutely beautiful move by Straightmans there, down towards the old hairpin. Straightmans has got himself up to second position. And patience, thy name is Victor Straightmans. And I tell you, with great patience comes great rewards, and that is second place. A very, very, very nice overtake. And he's effectively thrown Luke Southall to the wolves. Kane, with Luca Schubeck now enjoying the double slipstream that Straightmans was. Southall's position on the podium is looking very shaky now from the race opening that he had.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like he's struggling a little bit down there at the old hairpin, I think. A couple of times there where he's lost a good chunk of time and let Whitford come past, and now Straightmans, and he's going to try and, he's come off track there. It's not going well. Here comes Schubeck. Got the inside. It's bumping and grinding going on. The guys come into turn one. And it is Schubeck at Southall all the way back to fourth now.
So yeah, that fall from grace on the podium, it did not take long when it happened. He held off Straightmans for quite a few laps, but once that position gone, Schubeck straight in there, wasting absolutely no time whatsoever, and all the while Luciano Whitvick crafting himself out a 1.5 second lead. While that's been going on, Straightmans in second, Schubeck third, Southall fourth place, Creevy fifth position, Lopez in sixth, with Dewsman now in seventh. Lucas Wallering has dropped back down to eighth position, but that's still an improvement on where he started. James Rollins has had another incident as well, in fact quite a few slowdowns. By the look of this, he's down 5 places. Down into ninth, with Jacek Kowaleski rounding out the top 10. It's Malam in 11th, Baukenhout in 12th, Frank Van Roon in 13th place, so up 3. He was up into 10th at one point, dropped back down to last. He's made his way back through it once again. Depril, Kovacs and Henri Jacobs in 16th position. And Luke Southall is where we're going to jump back on, because that's where all the action has been for this race. Whether Southall has been a willing participant or not, he's either been the hunter or the hunted for the opening test. Oh, right up the inside. Is he going to hold that, or is he going to get the cut back on him? Oh, there's a bit of contact as they make their way onto the straight. It is Schubeck pressing. He's got the inside line. Oh, and he's opened out on the corner exit, but the cutback is open at Southall. Trying to get back onto the podium. They're on a straight ahead now down into Roberts. This exit corner here has been one that's plagued at Southall as well. He's thrown the car in firmly over that curve. Oh, and firmly over that exit curve. He's kept it between the mayo and the mustard this time. And Creevy, who we feared. Oh no, never mind that. They're going to go side by side. Oh, what? Netcode. We'll let the steer sort that one out. Creevy.
Looked like a lot of contacts there, but both cars still on the track here, and Creevy, as you said, making the most of this, just sitting back, watching it all unfold. Marcus Jusma was the big mover. He's up to 7th, John's 4 positions. So very happy with his race start, no doubt.
Yeah, indeed. Well, Ben Malam as well, actually, another driver that's made it up 4 places. Creevy, as I was saying, despite the penalties, I tell you what, given the starting pace, Luciano Whitvick could not be happier right now. He is stretched out. Oh, Creevy's picked up another penalty. That is a slow-down penalty. The track limits. The driver's certainly being tested, and Creevy...
Schubeck goes around just in front of Creevy there, John, so he's going to lose a lot of position, stuck there at the final corner, just getting off the mark now.
Whoa!
Quicker cars coming through, just avoiding that little incident. And yes, Schubeck down the order, 8th position now.
And yeah, that's Jusma and Lopez. Jusma now up 5 positions. So yeah, someone on for driver of the day, methinks so. Equilibrious gaps, 2.4 seconds separate Whitvick from Straightmans, and Straightmans from Southall after that penalty. Creevy finds himself in 4th place then. Wallering all over the back of Jusma still, and Schubeck, we know he's got pace to easily be finishing in the top 5. He's got 2 drivers ahead of him with only 2.5. That's 13 minutes of racing done already. That is
I've just
absolutely...
caught the same information there and double checking all my screens. But yeah, 2 minutes left in this first race. Has been action-packed, 13 laps completed already. And those top 4 to 5 just separating themselves a little bit now. Big gaps. Whitford, plenty of room in front. Just has to walk this one home if he can.
Indeed he does, yeah. As we can see, Marcus Dewsma is going to have a look around the outside. Let's have a look at Helicam. Oh, he's going to go for the cutback. Oh, and the car was still there. It's caused him a bit of contact. He slowed down ever so slightly. And that could bring Wallering back into the hunt here as well. And in fact, Schubeck, if we're watching this, oh, look how close. Oh, Schubeck picking up a penalty, so he's going to have to slow down at some point. Here we go, lifts there while in the slipstream, not letting the two cars ahead gain much time on him. I was holding my breath there. Oh, and Wallering nearly held his breath a bit too much. He's run wide. Oh, he's come right back across. It's right up the inside for Schubeck. Beautiful position in the car there by Schubeck, although he's picked up a slowed down penalty while avoiding that into Roberts. Oh, and he really gets over those curbs. And that's increased his slow down penalty, so that's ejected him from this battle with a minute left to go. So Wallering and Dewsma, Wallering trying to go right round the outside, opens the corner up, looking for the cutback. Dewsma keeps it planted right on the apex, beautifully running down towards the old hairpin. Wallering really has got a go at this one here. And that's more... Oh, Schubeck with another slow down penalty. And he's just clipped that curb again. And running up the hill. Oh, these two here, Kane. It's going to be a close ending between these two, Wallering and Dewsma. Who's your money on?
Yeah, Dewsma's done a fantastic job for this race. Up 5 positions now into 6th. Just got to hold out for this final lap if he can. But yeah, fantastic race here. Wallering, Schubeck. Schubeck with that little stumble back at the final corner, sorry. As yeah, put him right back in as he gets another track limits there. These are going to add up a whole lot quicker in the second race, that's for sure.
Yes, they are. I think, because I was actually going to say a couple of laps ago, the only saving grace really for Southall is he's going to start 2 positions ahead of Whitford in the next race. But given the pace that Whitford's shown, yeah, this is going to be an almighty battle. Wallering still going at it on the last lap. As we're going to see, we are going to watch Whitford cross the line, of course. If we can get the right camera for it. Here he comes into Roberts. 15 minutes of racing. Race win number 3 on the cards. And there is the checkered flag confirming the Luciano Whitford will bring home the maximum haul of points, and it will be Victor Stratemans then. Phenomenal drive to get himself second. Luke Southall finishing in 3rd place in this one. Victor Creevy getting himself 4th, with Emmanuel Lopez up 3 positions to finish in 5th. Marcus Dewsma, though, not to be outdone, up 5 places to finish in 6th place. Lucas Wallering, Kowaleski and Malam finished in 7th, 8th and 9th. Schubeck in 10th position. Baukenhout got 11th. It was Rollins in 12th. Jacobs in 13th. Kovacs in 14th position. Depril in 15th. Van Roon in 16th. And some bloke called Simon Baggas finishing in 17th position. But for all that, I mean, phenomenal battle in start to finish game. But let's take our hats off to Luciano Whitford. Took pole position, lost the lead in the opening few corners, regained it and did not look back.
Yeah, did not look back at all. Fantastic drive there. Got that clean air in front and definitely made the most of that. Takes the fastest lap as well with a 102.2. No slouch there.
Yeah, phenomenal drive. Confirmation of the results then. Whitford with all the honours, pole position, race win and fastest lap authority stamped. Straightman, Southall, Creevy and Lopez, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th. Juzma with the Wonder Drive to finish in 6th. Then it was Waller and Kowaleski, Malam and Schubeck. Quite the fall from grace for Lucas there at the end of the race. Baukenhout, Rollins and Jacobs, 11th, 12th and 13th. With Kovacs in 14th position. This is round number 3 of the Praga UK Championship in association with MOZA Racing and SpeedScents. SpeedScents, an aspiring brand of air freshener catering to car enthusiasts, providing aesthetically leading designs and fragrant scents for you to enjoy your drives to the max. SpeedScents are just one of our series title partners. You can get 10% discount at checkout using our unique code SOP10, that's SOP10, when purchasing any SpeedScents product. Do make sure you use upper caps when typing in SOP. If you know, you know. If you want your car smelling fresh, we recommend the Series 1 mix. And they've provided a VIP day out at Donington as a guest of the Adola Praga racing team. The highest placed British driver will win that. MOZA Racing as well, born for sim racers. MOZA Racing is dedicated to designing and building the world's best sim racer focused hardware and software products that enable everyone to race at their very best. The full ecosystem includes direct drive force feedback steering wheels, aluminium alloy pedal assembly, digital dash and pit house control software. And thanks to the very kind people at MOZA Racing, there is an R5 direct drive bundle up for grabs. It is a wheel, base and pedals, and that will be to the highest placed driver overall, no matter where they live. And there's also a completion bonus raffle for everyone who takes part in the entire season. They'll be entered into a raffle to win themselves £50. So again, some phenomenal prizes, but the action as well. So yeah, let's talk about the prizes, Kane. And yeah, the action's certainly living up to what they've got up for grabs.
Absolutely. And why wouldn't it? Some fantastic prizes there, as you said. The MOZA wheel and the track day experience be fantastic.
Indeed it will. Indeed it will. Chicks are in the chat. Hello. Some phenomenal battle in there. And because we touched on it as well, Ken. These cars, you know yourself. You've actually tried them yourself, and it's no mean feat. Completing a lap in these things. Never mind the old side by side and all that. Oh, here we go. Straight back into it.
Here we go, under Ray. Yeah, no mean feat at all. Very touchy on the brakes, and they do not like contact. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get through these first couple of laps with this reverse grid going on.
Indeed it is. It's going to be Van Roonen 16th. The top 15 get reversed, in fact. Oh, and it's a 30-minute race. The feature race, of course, the 30-minute race, and it's the Pearl that's going to lead the way into turn number 1. Kovacs in 2nd, Jacobs in 3rd. Let's see what Southall and the gang do. Oh, as we've got a 3 wide into turn number 1. Southall makes up 2 places very quickly indeed. Wollering and Kowaleski. Oh, and that is what can only be described as carnage.
Big contact at the back.
We did actually catch that one live. There was quite a few cars made contact there, by my estimate 5 or 6, and on the way towards McLean. Oh, and he's right out on the grass here. How did he manage to hold on to that one? Was that Jacobs? No, it wasn't Jacobs. It was Lucas Schubeck. He really does not like the track limits at all. Definitely a free-spirited driver, but he has managed to maintain some momentum. Rollins then catching up to the lead too, and Kovacs in fact putting the leader under a lot of pressure. Rollins slipping out the slipstream, and he goes for a beautiful move around the outside. Oh, and Schubeck's carrying. Wow, what a move by Schubeck up the middle there. He's moved back over because there's no room on the track, and it's going to be Creevy looking to make his way through. Creevy does make his way past into turn number 1. The race leader then is getting a phenomenal view from his rear wing of what's going on. It's Rollins, Kowaleski, Kovacs and Creevy through to 5th with Schubeck then in 6th position. Wallering and Jacobs in the background, changing positions as well. After the contact at the back, Baukenhout and Malam 15th and 14th. Whitfit now in 13th position behind Luke Southall, 2.5 seconds behind. Straightemans ahead of both of them in 11th place. Jacobs in 10th, and it's Van Roon. Van Roon up the inside, makes his way through. There was a bit of contact there as well as Juzma, who's lost that position there. Wallering just ahead, was coming under pressure from Juzma. Van Roon muscled his way through, and they've almost changed the positions again into the final corner. Oh, and they really do throw themselves at that final curve, and that's a beautiful take there by Marcus Juzma. Van Roon attempts to squeeze him over onto the outer curve, and all that's done is let Jacobs make it a 3 wide into turn number 1, with Straightemans in the background then looking at a potential 4-way overtake as he is in 10th place, Kane. So these drivers, there might have been a bit of contact at the back, but all that's done is given us battles right through the field here.
Right through the field, we've got some big movers there. Frank Van Roon up 8 positions. Villa Creevy up 7 positions. Oh well, I'm not even going to try that one this early. But James Rawlings up into P1 at the moment.
Oh yes,
a little bit of a gap there to second place. We'll see how that can unfold for the last, still 26 minutes left.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, Depril down 3 into 4th there. Kowaleski up 6 positions.
Definitely some contact at the start of this race.
Yeah, on you go.
Contact at the start of the race is definitely shaking things up a lot. Southall up 2 positions now into 11th, trying to chase Straightman's down. And Whitford stuck back there in 13th still.
Yeah, Whitford now up to 12th then. Creevy just got a bit of contact on the rear, which sent him off into the sand. Whitford going past Jacobs. Depril being overtaken then by Schubeck. He's up to 4th position. Oh, and in the background as well, that is Wallering making his way past Depril. So Depril down in the 6th position then from the race lead. Juzma hanging at the slipstream of Straightman's then. Not a bad place to be, considering where he finished in race number 1. Oh, and that is Depril. Oh, that last corner, I was just about to say, Kane, the way that some of the drivers are going over those curves in the final corner, it cannot be sustainable. And I think Depril there just highlighting that point excellently, that we might be missing the chicane. Fogarty S's, but Roberts, yeah, those curves are not to be toyed with.
Not at all. Also missing is the full front half of the Pril's car there. It's going to be a real challenge to get that thing around the rest of these 24 minutes. May have to come in and get that one fixed up.
Yeah, there is Van Roon. More positions being changed in. Whitford upper position. Schubeck getting a penalty. Again, up at 5th. Van Roon tumbling down the order. That was the car I was just off. He's now completely stationary. Depril makes back a position. He was last. Lopez has reached and breached the 30 penalty points, so he has been returned to the garage only 6 minutes in. All the while, Rollins 1.7 seconds in the lead. Kowaleski in second. Kovacs in 3rd place. Wallering a second down. Lucas Schubeck still falling. Still falling foul of the judges a bit too. The race steer, a bit too often. He really does need to keep that one calm. Juzma has just lost the position to Whitford. In fact, he's gained one to Straightman. So as Whitford and Southall are making their way past Straightman's, Juzma's managed to follow his way through. So he is up 2 positions then. Straightman's was up 6. He's back down 1. Still in 9th though. Southall back up to 6th position. And he's only got a second to Schubeck. Oh, Kovacs making a move out of the final corner. Oh, and that's another car stationary. That is another car stationary, and into turn number 1, it's going to be Wallering and Kovacs providing the entertainment this time right round the outside for Wallering. Great grip there. And that's him now up to second position. 3 seconds down on James Rollins. 23 minutes to go, Kane. Rollins doing exactly what he needs to do, and the pack behind they simply seem to be helping him given the amount of battling that they're doing, and they're not giving up anytime soon.
Not at all. Not at all. Very slow. Frank Van Buren back of the pack now. Something wrong with that car possibly. Gets a little bit more speed going at the moment, but yeah, he's been just putting along for the last lap or so there. So definitely something up with that car. He goes off wide again. That these track limits have claimed one driver already. Guys need to be careful. Still 22 minutes to go. Schubeck gets another slowdown. Yeah, it's going to make it very interesting. But Southall with it, doing what they do, moving through the pack. You see them. They can make any indent into Rollins' lead at the top there now. 3 seconds off second place.
Yeah, they are, and Southall almost came a cropper there as Schubeck had himself.
Schubeck gets another slowdown. His car going to add up.
Yeah, they really are. Ooh. And that is not the type of exit that he wants as he's heading up to McLean's again. We've seen a fair bit of action in this corner complex as well. At the moment though, it's still James Rawlings getting the job done, up 3 positions. Wallering up 7 with Kovacs just behind him. Kovacs down a position from his start place. It's Kowaleski in 4th. He's just picked up a slowdown. In fact, Kowaleski, Kovacs, Whitvet and Schubeck all picking up slowdowns at exactly the same time. Marcus Jusma through the final corner. Oh, he's cut right back onto the line there. That was Whitvet almost losing out then to Kowaleski's car, but Whitvet and Southall now up into 4th and 5th, 9 and 10 place improvement respectively. And Southall, he can see that podium now, Kane. But as far as Whitvet's concerned, he's doing exactly the job he needs to do. He won race 1, so if he can, and he got a 2-position gap over Southall, who finished in 3rd. If he can finish 1 position behind, that guarantees him the lead of the championship going into next week. Still 20 minutes of racing to go right enough.
Absolutely, still 20 minutes of racing. Anything can happen. These guys making their way through the pack very well after that first contact lap there. Oh, Southall gets a little bit wobbly. Puts it up the outside of Kovacs here. He's in all sorts of trouble. Straightman tries to go around that very outside. And Kovacs just knowing when to let off, just to let these guys do their thing and not be involved.
Yeah, you got to know when to hold them and you got to know when to fold them. And Kovacs knew exactly. That one was better. He wasn't pot committed into turn number 1. Still having a great race. He's down a few positions from where he started, but he is in 5th. Ooh, Rollins picking himself up a penalty, 3.1. Ooh, and that is, a clumsy rejoin. And in the background, there's more action going on as Straightmans and Kowaleski are looking to trade positions as well. Certainly Straightmans is. As they go past Van Roon, who is 1 lap down, so he's blue flag, so he's going to get himself out of the way. We almost went full send. I want to tell you what, Straightmans, that last corner, that can't be good. Look, Southall picking up a slow down penalty. Him and Wallering and Kovacs are now 3 wide into turn number 1, and Kovacs is back up to 3rd position then, side by side. Bit of a wiggle there for Wallering, and that is going to give Southall the run down the hill. Where is... Oh, Luciano Whitvet is up to 2nd place. How did that?
Cruised past that whole pack, yeah. I've missed that too, John, but he's cruised past that whole pack and he's closing that gap on Rollins now, down to 2.7, 2.6. Closing fast, that gap.
Oh yeah, that gap is diminishing quicker than my little girl's birthday cake will this evening. Kovalevsky chasing down Waller in Southall now. He's been afforded all the slipstream straight-mins. Lurking in the background, he too up 7 positions. And we're on board with straight-mins. There we go, we should be looking at him as we come into Roberts. Oh, Kovalevsky did not get a good exit there, and that is going to be an open invitation for straight-mins into turn number 1. Or is it? No, he backs out with that one. Doesn't have a look there. Potentially could have, so straight-mins still in 6th position. Wallering then in 5th. Southall in 4th. Kovacs in 3rd position. Southall's in 4th. Whitfit in 2nd place. Rollins in 1st. But as Kane pointed out, he is really getting that job done up there at the front. Whitfit, and that gap is halved in about a lap, Kane, since he took 2nd place down from 2.6, and I think we're about to see it dip just under a second. Whitfit, he wants a back-to-back race win here.
Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't you? 1.3 seconds faster than Rawlins on that last lap, so Whitfit on the charge here. Let's see what he can do in the last 17 minutes. Southall back up into 3rd, so separated from the pack there a little bit. Southall and Straderman's up 10 positions this race.
Kovalevsky coming under pressure from Schubeck. He does like a drive through this
Rawlins now just seeing.
On you go, Kane.
No, Rawlins there can definitely see Whitfit in the mirror, closing that gap significantly every single lap. Another second quicker on the last go around. Whitfit definitely on the charge here. A little bit of a gap back to Southall now, 5 seconds to 3rd place. So Whitfit doing what he needs to do.
Yep, he's got himself in front. Southall's got himself back on the podium, so it's going to be back-to-back thirds. At the moment, it does look odds on that it's going to be back-to-back wins though for Luciano Whitfit. Krakus in the chat, how we doing, bud? Yes, from what I saw up here, and obviously I don't like to make snap judgments, but yes, it did look like an aggressive slowdown right in front, so yeah, could have potentially got off the line. Wow, look how close he has got there. 2 almost became 1 as they headed up through the Swans curve there. And that's actually increased the gap ever so slightly. Creevy having a good run in the background here as well. He's got Schubeck ahead of him. Schubeck still picking up these slow down penalties, and he really does need to be careful, because slowdowns often do mean that you've been off track, and if you go off track you get a penalty point. And as we've seen from Van Roon and Lopez, it's very easy to rack up those points, and it's very easy for Creevy out of the final corner. He's got Schubeck and Kovalevsky. He's having a look up the inside. Is Creevy on Schubeck? Schubeck holds his line, and Schubeck gets a phenomenal run now out with turn number 1, and he is fully chasing Kovalevsky down the hill, almost bumper to bumper. Has a look up the inside. Victor Straitmans picks up a slowdown penalty. He's actually all over the back of Luke Southall. Battle for the podium is unfolding as these 3 are battling as well. Let's have a look, jump between the 2 very quickly and see if I can keep up. Well, what's going on? Creevy still applying the pressure to Schubeck, who has definitely got Kovalevsky's number at the moment, but Kovalevsky been given a bit of a free pass as these 2 battle behind them. Schubeck unable. Oh, Straitmans still got that slowdown hanging over his head. He's still hanging off the back of him. No, 4/10, half a second now separating Straitmans and Southall for the final podium position. Oh, and the lead of the race has changed hands while I was looking at that battle. Of course, Luciano Whitfit Kane. He has made a 14th overtake, the 5th one that we've missed. And yeah, he's back into the lead of the race. James Rollins down into 2nd.
With some lap traffic there just starting to get in the way as well. But yeah, with making that move on the previous lap there, and you can see he's got the pace in that car to pull away from Rollins at the moment. Let's see what Rollins or Southall can bring. Was 5-second gap not too long ago back to Southall, but that has shortened somewhat down to about 4 seconds now. So Southall on the charge, as you said, Straderman's right in behind, following along.
He is, yeah, and if not for a couple of penalties. Oh, and he's down. Schubeck's binned it out the last corner, and it is the last corner curves once again. Another driver falling foul, and Robert has got a lot to answer for to a lot of drivers, or they've got a lot to answer for jumping over the curbs so vigorously and vehemently. Straightman's another slow down penalty, and the gap between himself and Southall has increased. Schubeck then, he did pick up a lot of penalties in race number 1. And he's picked up a few in race 2, and that has put him 3 seconds down on the pack ahead, meaning Kovacs and Kovaleski are free to battle. Creevy has been given a free pass from this 3-way battle as well. He's got a big gap up to Wallering. Oh, and Schubeck has been DQ'd for breaching the 30-point limit. Oh, as Juzma tumbles down the order then, he's had an off-track excursion. Let me just gather my bearings, that camera angle. Oh, that's down towards the old hairpin. Oh, that's really not a confident looking car. The tyres looking a bit cooked there. 11 minutes left to go. Hopefully he can find himself some grip. Wallering serving a slow down penalty, finds himself dropping 2 positions, so he's still up 1. From where he started in the race, but he's just lost 2 to Kovacs and Kovaleski. These two having a great race, and Kovacs still looking to potentially take that 5th place with it. 2.2 seconds to the good over Rollins, who's only 2.1 seconds now ahead of Southall. So that's come down another second. Kovacs still within 3/10. Ooh, Rollins can't afford slowdowns. Oh, Southall is down the final corner. Another driver, Kane, and this isn't.
Southall does the 360, hit the final corner there. Going to lose some time out there.
Yeah, sorry, I just talked over you. This delay is causing chaos between us. But it's all good. But yeah, I was going to say, Kane, that last corner is catching out the drivers, and it's right through the field as well. That's 2 podium protagonists who've come a cropper on those curbs out of the last corner. And Southall then 4th place in this one, and 3 seconds to make up in the last 10 minutes. That's really not the Donington outing he was hoping for.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As Practice asked, why they're consistently exceeding track limits? Because the track limits are tough to get these Pragas around in one piece. You need to use all of the track. Sometimes these guys just using a little bit too much. Southall past Rollins. Rollins into the pits. So he's just coming out now. That's a drive-through penalty for. Oh, he's got a drive-through for speeding in that pit lane. It's gone from bad to worse from James Rollins now. Down into 5th place. He's going to lose plenty more. He has to serve that drive-through.
Indeed he is. That, yeah, one-time race leader. Oh, and he's gone straight off at the old hairpin. So whatever it was that ailed him, it means he won't be able to finish the race. Rollins. Devastating outcome there for him. Baukenhout, 9th place, looking to get past Malam. Kovacs and Kovaleski The two of them still trading position, still following one another furiously. Wallering trying to close back up to this battle. Baukenhout and Malam. They look like they're getting close. In fact, our Baukenhout having a big look into McLean's. Keeps it nice and tight on the entry. Can't quite get the exit on his way down into Roberts. Let's see if these two can navigate their way through this final corner. See just how much to throw over those curves. And successfully making it through. That is how it's done. Oh no, it's just suddenly stretched out. Was it going to give a straight line? Oh, and that is a big run wide there from Malam and Kovacs. And sorry, Baukenhout was going to say thank you very much. And I think Marcus Juzma is going to be in for a position here too. As they head down towards the old hairpin, he's going to have a look right up the inside. They're side by side. Juzma with a beautiful move. Definitely left more than enough room there. Sails it round the outside. And when he exits, is he going to? Yes, he is. Or is he potentially on the cutback for Malam? Oh, he's going to chase him right up the hill into McLean's end. I was going to say by here it was going to be done and dusted. In fact, it is. So Juzma then making it back up. He dropped down a few positions. He's now up one overall from his starting position. The gap up at the front though, Kane, I was looking at it, was sitting at a pretty steady 7 seconds. It's now suddenly jumped to 9. So Luciano Whitvet comfortably in the lead, but he is not taking anything for granted and not taking this, he's not taking it easy in these closing 6 minutes. It's absolutely flat out with the gap still increasing to the rest of the field.
Absolutely, put his mark right on this race. Up 14 positions, and as you said, almost 9.5 seconds too good to Straderman's there in second place.
Oh, so full.
Got some very familiar names up there on the podium: Whitford, Southall, Straderman's, Creevy, all still in it.
Yeah, as we just see Southall taking that second position then out of the last corner. We've seen Southall have problems there, and he's managed to correct them on this go, and he is back up to second position. 9.9 seconds to make up on the flying Luciano Whitvet. Southall, in fact, has set a quicker lap than Whitvet in this race by 3:10, so at the moment he is the fastest driver on track, but I don't think 3/10 a lap over the next 5 minutes is going to be quick enough. But Straightman certainly, he could potentially be struggling with his tyres a bit, Kane, because that looked all too easy there for Southall, and he doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep up with them then.
Yeah, Southall on the charge there. That fastest lap of his race being set on the last lap. Goes just a little bit slower there, but Whitford answering back with his own 102.4 for the last lap, which is his fastest of the race as well, and that gap back out to just over 10 seconds now from Southall. So it's second and third, looks like the battle here. Straderman's just tucking in behind Southall and waiting to see what happens. But already 25 minutes gone, John. We've only got 4.5 minutes left of this race.
Yep, it's been another quick one, hasn't it? And I was on mute there. It was only when you started speaking I realised I'd pushed the big red button. But yeah, so still podiums, positions up for grabs. The gap up at the front row, 9.5 seconds. Let's, as we can see, whip it ahead then, 10.5 seconds at the moment. Straightman's, I was worried actually, the way Southall got the overtake done, I did potentially think Straightman's, his tyres had dropped potentially off a cliff, but doesn't seem to be the case. He is definitely keeping Southall on his toes. And Whitbit, as Kane said, answering back very quickly. He's went and set his own fastest lap of the race with 3 minutes left to go. He's just catching up to Depril, getting himself a cheeky bit of slipstream along the start-finish straight. Every single advantage you can find. That is why as well, Crackers, they're consistently exceeding track limits, trying to find any advantage that you can. Kane, in fact, was it? Oh, who was it? We were watching someone, and the guy made a massive cut of the corner. It was a real life race, and the commentator said, "Yeah, well, if you're going to get a penalty, you might as well make it worth it." So, the delay killed it.
Yes, absolutely.
Whitbit
on his last lap again, going fastest of his race and the whole field.
Oh yeah, he has. Yeah, 102.3.
Apologies, all. There is a slight delay here. John and I stumbling over each other a little.
You'd think we were on opposite sides of the planet, Kane. Who's that just pulled over? Well, it's not Whitbit. Right, okay. That's the same car as Whitbit. That is the Prill that's just pulled over there. I thought there was a problem with Whitbit there. I was going to say, how have they managed to catch up then? But they've not. That is the Prill just being lapped. Wallering. He's getting pretty close to Kovacs. Kovacs and Kovalevsky now separated by 1.6 seconds. So it would appear that their duel could well be done. Southall, the gap's still stretching out then. 1.5 minutes to go. And it is the Luciano Whitbit show once again. He's clocked up 3 wins from the 6 races so far. Or 3 wins from 5 races so far. And it looks like it's about to be 4 from 6. Kovalevsky picking up a late penalty there. Wallering really is pestering Kovacs at the moment. Kovacs got his hands full and his work cut out for him, holding on to that 6th position. Rollins, Van Roon, Lopez and Schubeck out of the race. Rollins, Van Roon and Lopez in DNF, so I think they've returned to the pits due to damage. Schubeck reaching and breaching the 30-point penalty limit. It's racing physics and track limits model. Yeah, as Kane was saying, yeah, the keeping these things on track. Slow down pens. Okay. But yeah, they do like to carry momentum as much as possible. It's definitely vital in these things. They do like to reach and breach. Let's pop that on. Whitbit just coming up to some more traffic. But certainly, Kane, from a Whitbit point of view, 3 rounds left, 6 races to go, and a return to Donington as well, the Grand Prix circuit. Whitbit surely got to be confident going into the second half of the season that the championship. He's definitely got one hand on the trophy, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'd be very happy with his racing today as well. Got the win in race 1 and keeps that gap 10 seconds and over Southall in this second race. So yeah, very happy with his race tonight. Another one that's done valiant, John, is John Depril. He's been missing that front of that car since lap 2 or 3 and still getting it around, which is no mean feat. That is a super effort down in 12th position.
Yeah, it is, yeah. That was quite the contact that he made. And he is missing most of the front of the car, but he has made it to the end, so yeah, hats off for that. But hats off again, Luciano Whitbit. 6 races in, 4 race wins. Luciano definitely looking the favourite. Luke Southall chasing him in the championship, chasing him home here as well. 2nd place for Luke, that'll strengthen his standing. 2nd in the championship, but it won't close the gap on Luciano, which is what he was looking to do. Victor Stratemans, a pair of podiums this evening. 3rd place in race number 2. That should separate him from the chasing pack, especially with it being Veal Creevy taking 4th place then. Kowaleski getting himself 5th ahead of Kovacs and Wallering. Baukenhout in 8th place. Malam in 9th, with Juzma rounding out the top 10 after his heroics in race number 1. Jacobs, Depril and Depril. The final 2 finishers, with Rollins, Van Roon, Lopez, Baggis and Schubeck Kane all falling foul of Donington, the Pragas, the track limits, and those final curbs at Roberts.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And Schubeck being the big loser out of that race there, was in 4th position for the championship. With the DQ in that race, it's going to push him all the way back. Emmanuel Lopez as well, not finishing, was in 5th position. So Creevy looking to take advantage of that mess and possibly move himself up in the standings after the 2 races tonight.
Indeed, yeah. And we've got plenty more racing action to come. Let me just let this load. Yeah, after tonight's races, we'll get the championship standings updated. In fact, nope, it's still on the go. But yeah, that was round number 3. As I mentioned, we've got 3 rounds still to go. Silverstone National, Brands Hatch Grand Prix and Donington Grand Prix are going to be the tracks still up for grabs. Reverse order in race number 2. As always, so make sure you tune in for that. Didn't see the start, but it looked like he was coming from a long way behind. Terrific drive from the winner. Indeed, Crackers, he started in 15th position because he won race 1. We do like to give the winners extra special prizes, like an extra 15 seconds in the pit on ACC, or start from the back if you win on Race Room. Who says talent will take you to the top? But it's certainly taking Whitvit to the top. That is for sure. Big thanks to SpeedScents, of course, the air freshener company, who have provided a VIP package to attend the final round of the Real Praga UK Championship, courtesy of them, and also SOP 10. Check out on their website and get yourself discounts on their products. Have your car smelling amazing. We've got MOZA Racing as well with the R5 DD bundle, courtesy of them. Thank you very much to them as well. And a big shout out and a massive thank you to the man joining me in the commentary box after a fair bit of time away. Didn't half hit the ground running, much like the drivers on track. Massive thank you, Mr. Kane Denham.
Yeah, thank you, John. My pleasure as always. And looking very much forward to Silverstone next week to see these guys go at it once again. Going to be a great one.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yeah, Silverstone National. Some high-speed overtaking action. Absolutely guaranteed. Thank you to everyone in the chat as well. Crackers, GCs, guys, thank you. Thank you, Crackers. Cheers, Jixer and Johnny and Simon. And VGR Hako for joining in the chat as well. I won't do a raid because the bots are broken. But do enjoy whatever you decide to do with the rest of your evening. As I say, I'm off to eat some birthday cake. So until Wednesday night, when we're back with ACC, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.